Takasugi Shinsaku is actually a positive character, but there has been a misunderstanding, and you must defeat him in the game Nioh 3. Next, I will demonstrate how to do this quickly and easily. I still use the head of the Eager Ninja set. This time, there are only 6 items, and the main weapon is dual swords. The most important changes concern ninja tools. Here I use Fire Shuriken, Thundering Calamity, and Gunpowder Bomb. In terms of magic, only the Demon of Envy skill is important to me. Everything else is optional. And the general distribution of characteristics with a bias towards intellect, magic, and skill. In fact, Takasugi Shinsaku dodges most ninja tools quite well, but I will still use them often in this battle. Thundering Calamity shows maximum damage efficiency. This skill deals a lot of damage and the boss cannot dodge it, which is good news. During combat, you need to keep moving. Very often, you will approach the boss, and here you can perform a series of light attacks, especially if the enemy has his back to you. Takasugi Shinsaku does not defend well against close-range attacks, but you can't stay close all the time either, because the boss will catch you with his powerful close-range attack, which I will show you later. The Demon of Envy skill is useful in this battle. The boss takes a lot of damage from this attack, and can also receive a debuff that will periodically inflict fire damage on him. In this battle, I try to use fire as much as possible against Takasugi Shinsaku, so I also use Fire Shuriken and Gunpowder Bomb. When the debuff is active and a critical hit lands, the boss takes a lot of damage from fire. That's what I need. Also, during the battle, I constantly move around to avoid his rapid shots and spirit attacks. In general, during the first half of the battle, I used all of Demon of Envy's charges. Unfortunately, there are only 3 of them, but Thundering Calamity constantly regenerates thanks to the Evade skill, which allows you to deal a lot of damage to the enemy. Fire Shuriken is also very effective. I don't use Gunpowder Bomb with such high hopes. Sometimes the boss dodges the bombs, but sometimes the damage goes through, which is an added bonus. Other magic can also be used, but you have to time it right when the boss won't dodge. At this point, the boss should have about 50% health left, and will begin to transition to the second phase of the battle, which will be a little more difficult. In general, the tactics in the second phase of the battle do not change, except that you will have to dodge even more, as the boss becomes quite aggressive. On the other hand, this allows you to recover Thundering Calamity faster and deal a lot of damage. At the beginning of the second stage, I used my ultimate ability, hoping to deal a lot of damage to the enemy. But there is one important thing here. I got carried away with my attacks and didn't notice that my ultimate ability had ended. So I was hit by a powerful attack that Takasugi Shinsaku uses if you stay in close combat for too long. This is a dangerous attack, after which you need to recover your health in time to avoid losing. Continue to dodge and look for the right moment when the boss is busy preparing for an attack to throw a Fire Shuriken or Gunpowder Bomb. During this period, it would also be a good idea to summon an Enra or Blood Edge Demon to strengthen the fire debuff and damage the enemy. And here, you have to be careful, because in the later stages, the boss really starts to move very quickly and can easily catch you with his powerful melee attack, which happened to me again. This time I was lucky again. I managed to restore my health. To finish the fight, you need to dodge, keep moving, and attack the enemy at the right moment. And although I still have a full supply of magic, it doesn't take much time to use it. Casting takes place while standing in place, and during this time, the boss can attack rapidly. In addition, the damage caused by water and wind magic is not as effective as lightning and fire attacks. Therefore, I hardly ever use magic, only when I see that there is really time to do so. Otherwise, I am constantly moving and trying to restore Thundering Calamity, which is my main weapon. There isn't much left until victory, and there is no point in changing tactics, moving to close combat, or taking other actions. You need to focus on the tactics that have been effective so far. That is, restoring ninja tools and powerful attacks. When possible, of course, use magic attacks, but still focus on Fire Shuriken and Thundering Calamity. Unfortunately, the boss dodges bombs very well, so they are only used to keep Takasugi Shinsaku on his toes. Now, please like and subscribe to the channel. I also recommend watching videos about battles with other bosses in Nioh 3.